Phew, so first things first, friends, before I dive into today's stock trading tip, which gives you something that will make you money, let me tackle the big elephant in the room and answer what in the world can we plan for when it comes to the overall stock market? Should we be worried about the selling we're seeing? And really all I need to show you are the S&P and NASDAQ charts, okay? Because whatever they do will dictate the overall market sentiment. So let's start with the S&P chart, which is the SPY, S-P-Y. You type that up here and boom, here's the chart. And the first thing that you'll notice about my chart is my yellow and green target lines that I drew clear back in 2020. And as you can see, these have been super accurate every week and every month for the past 4 years consistently. And to get these super accurate predictive targets, I developed a tool for the little group of master traders that I work with. And I designed it so that the tool puts these lines on our charts for us. And friends, having these lines on your chart is exactly like having a crystal ball in your hand because it allows you to predict and plan. And that's because these levels are very reactionary. So what we do is whenever you get a signal at one of these levels, take the trade either up or down, long or short. I generally don't go short, so I turned off my shorting signals, but if you want to, you just turn them on and go ahead and take the short trades. So the buy signal is whenever one of these white arrows shows up above this light blue solid line. Very clear, very accurate, and there's no guesswork. And this algo tells us where the bottoms are, it tells us where the tops are, and it tells us when there will be continuation along a trend. So if we missed the signal at the start of a trend, we can time our entries at the best possible times all along the trend. And we always know exactly where our targets are even before we buy. And these targets are special. They allow us to sell into the greed, which actually is the most profitable place to sell. It guarantees us that there will always be buyers for us at the highest points along the trend. We stay with the trade to the next target line, or as long as price doesn't close below the light blue line. It's a very simple algo and it works for any ticker. And you can see here, price is closed below the light blue line. In this case, with what the S&P is currently doing, there's no buy signal yet. We can't buy a dip here because there's no setup, okay? So right now we have to wait for the buy signal. Otherwise, chances are price may continue in a downward trend, or at the very least it'll chop around and you can't be profitable in a choppy zone. So to play it safe, wait for the buy signal, this little white arrow above the solid light blue line. Okay? All right, so let's look at the NASDAQ. And by the way, there are ETF tickers that you can trade. You can short, you can go long, you can go short, whatever you want to do. I'm not showing those right now. I'll probably talk about those in a different video. But for now, we're just talking about what's the market going to do, okay? To check the NASDAQ chart, type in $COMP, okay? So it's the same thing with the NASDAQ. The signal is one of these white arrows above the light blue line, and stay with the trade to the next target line or as long as price doesn't close below this solid light blue line. Simple. And as you can see here, price has closed below the light blue line. So if you're looking to buy a dip, there's no buy signal right now, so you don't buy. Now, let's dive into the topic of this video. And friends, this will make you money every time. And to show you this secret, we'll look at the trades that we took in our Master Traders group today. And today is August 7th, 2024, okay? And the first stock that I gave the group was Indo, I-N-D-O, at 6:13 a.m. my time this morning, and I'm in the Mountain Time Zone. And this yellow bar shows where I posted it to the group. It had just tagged this $3.23 target level, which told us at this point we need to wait for a fresh setup at or above the support level. And having these lines on our chart like this takes all of the stress and guesswork out of chart reading and trading, because we know 100% that once this one hits a target, it needs to sell down to support. So we went ahead and waited to see if it would in fact give us a buy signal. And here, right before opening bell, the algo gave us a white arrow buy signal above this solid light blue line, right at support. See that? But for me, I just didn't see enough volume there. And you know, no volume means no liquidity. So Just to be safe, I didn't actually take that trade, but I kept it on my watch. So at 7:29 a.m. this morning, right before opening bell, it did give us a buy signal, and it pushed hard all the way to the cautionary target of $3.55. Now, this cautionary target is not one that our tool puts on our chart for us, but I give it to my group of master traders. And so it's one that I put here based on a little secret that I teach my master traders to look for, which is the flattening out of the 50 or the 200 EMAs. And when the 50 crosses under the 200 EMA, the 200 is this yellow line, the solid yellow line, and the 50 is the dark blue line, okay, the solid one. So you have to look to the left back here on the previous day that it made this big run, okay? It made like a 75% move up, and that's a very nice gain right there. And after it hit these targets, the EMAs, that's the solid blue line and the solid yellow line, you can see they start to flatten out, and that's a sign of weakness. So I look for that, and where the 50 EMA crosses under the 200, and I draw that cautionary level right there and stretch it across all the way to today, which was at that $3.55 level. Because here's the thing, guys, previous support will become new resistance. And the fact that that 50 EMA is showing us that it failed at the previous support level over here, that tells us that this $3.55 level will now become new resistance or a target. So that's a little secret that if you happen to know, you can put it to work for you, and it will make money for you every time, because that tells you exactly where price will attempt to retest. And that's exactly what it did here. Again, I didn't take that trade simply because there just wasn't enough volume for my comfort, but it did work out for those who took it. Now, let's look at our second trade for the day, which was ADTX. And this was a grinder. And grinders are not always the most fun to trade because they tend to take longer, but using the algo that I have developed, it really makes the entire process very easy to understand how to execute each trade. So this yellow bar shows where I posted the trade plan at 7:22 a.m. my time. And here's where I posted the plan. Again, price had just pushed through a target. So when that happens, we know price needs to set up at a support level and give us a white arrow above this light blue solid line. Here's the white arrow. But because we are right at this target line again, for me, I just couldn't justify the trade because this line was showing some resistance. So I decided to wait for another white arrow. And again, here's one. And I could have entered there and used the 50 EMA as my stop loss, but it's still right at that target. And it had been proving that as resistance. So I ended up waiting yet for another white arrow. And here's my white arrow that I entered on. And here's how I planned the trade. And this is exactly how I teach my master traders to do it. I use this little trade plan tool, which I have developed. I enter how much capital that I'm working with. I enter the price that I'm looking to buy at, and you input a stop loss amount, and I inputted 3%, then input the target, which in this case was $1.94, and that gave me a 48-cent per share profit on this super cheap stock. So this tool tells me exactly my entry, my exit, my stop, and exactly how much money I'll make on this trade. And it also tells me if the trade will be favorable or not. And I know all of this even before I click the buy button, okay? You absolutely need to do it this way. No other way will give you consistent profits that you can live on. This is the only way to do it. So I wait for the setup and execute exactly what this little plan tells me to do. And boom, that simple little trade that only took about a half an hour paid me over $8,000 in profit. See how this will make you money? And after that, I waited for the next white arrow. And this thing just didn't set up again, so I moved on to the next ticker, which was UPST. And I posted this one at 8:08 a.m. my time, shown by this yellow bar. And this is a higher float stock, so I knew that it was going to require a little more patience. Once again, when I posted it, it had already pushed through the $31.40 target, but it was already holding support along this ongoing trend. So in this case, I was looking for a doji entry. In other words, I look for the pullback to the 9 EMA. Then a tail pushing up off of support. So as soon as the next candle after the doji is higher than the doji body itself, that's going to be my entry. And that occurred on this candle at 8:17 a.m. my time. My entry was $31.92. My target was $32.75 for a quick, easy profit of $1.46 per share. Then I waited for an arrow above the light blue solid line, and that was right here. My entry was at 9:01 a.m. this morning at $33.34. My target was this cautionary level shown on my chart, which was $34.80 for a 59-cent profit per share, making the total from the combined trades $2.05 per share. So friends, doing this will make you money every time. But you need these predictive tools. You need these algos. You need the watch list. And you need the AI scanners. And it really, really helps if you have me guiding you through the trades. And doing this will make you money. Well, friends, I hope this little video helped you. And if it did, please hit the thumbs up, like button, and subscribe to this channel for more master trader tutorials and tips. And if you'd like more day trading secrets that will really put you in the top tier of the most successful traders that nobody's going to teach you anywhere else, sign up for my free 60-minute web class that teaches you exactly how to be a 5-figure day trader, even with a small account balance. Go right now to MomentumStockTraders.com and sign up today for free. Classes run throughout the day. That's it for now, friends. I hope you enjoyed this quick tip and have a wonderful day.